There were a few new DC Multiverse reveals today from the McFarlane Toy Show livestream, and of course I have to talk about them. Now, 3 of these reveals were revealed back in WonderCon of this year as renders, but today we are finally having our first official look of what they look like in hand. As for the last item, I'm not too sure if it was revealed at WonderCon or not, but nevertheless I am excited for it because it is pretty freaking cool. And let's dive into it. Let's start with the first photo here, and it is of course Kite Man. Now I remember when I was recording the WonderCon video talking about those new reveals, I was very curious how Kite Man would turn out, especially his kite accessory that he has on his back. And as you can see right here, I think it turned out pretty good. I don't know what material they use for the kite. Is it a cloth material, paper, or some sort of soft plastic? I'm not too sure, but it looks pretty cool. Like the sculpting of it and the material and the texture looks pretty realistic. As for the figure itself, it is a very simple design character since it is based on this iteration of his design. So there's not a whole lot going on here in terms of his colors, but it's still pretty good for a Kite Man, especially if you need a Kite Man for your villain shelf for your DC collection. I think this one gets it done, especially a comic version of the character. Now, there are some small details that could be painted better, of course, right? As you can see with his harness or whatever he's wearing, the straps, these belt buckles could be painted with some silver. Tiny little details like this could be painted better. And especially since this is a collector edition figure, and we're paying $34.99 now, it'd be nice if they added a little bit more paint details to tiny little things like this, especially when you're paying this much for an action figure. So, that's just my opinion. But overall, not a bad looking figure. It gets the job done as a comic book Kite Man. And I am excited for this because I do want a Kite Man for my shelf. And they did confirm that this is going to be a Target exclusive gold label collector edition figure that will be going up for pre-order on June 13th, along with the animated Batman figures that are also Target exclusives. And this is part of the summer Target Geekadon thing that they always do every single year. So if you're interested in this figure, keep an eye out for June 13th. And now to the next photo. Here's another look at the Kite. And as you can see, the folds on the back are pretty cool. I like the way that it came out. It looks really realistic. And again, I don't know what the material is that they're using for this, but I love how that kite turned out. So there is Kite Man. And now, on to Malcom Merlin, the second figure that they revealed. He is, of course, the arch nemesis of Green Arrow. And I like the fact that they took this body buck and reused it, because it actually works. I like when they add textures and details to the costume designs for comic book figures when we know it's not necessarily needed, especially when it's not even there in the artwork. But when they do stuff like that, it just makes the figure stand out more. And the choice to reuse the Arsenal body buck from the Titans build wave, in my opinion, is not a bad thing here. Now, since Malcom Merlin is also, I believe, a collector edition figure, I hope he breaks the curse that all these bow user figures tend to have. He needs to come with separate arrow pieces. I am tired of seeing the same sort of problem where we have figures where we get the bow, we get the little backpack thing where he carries his arrows, but the arrows are all like sculpted as like a bunch, not separate. So if you're trying to do like photography with a character like this, or just anything, you want them to be posed on a shelf, not having separate arrows is very boring and it's lame. It's like, you can't even do something simple like that. You can't just sculpt it. And I hope he breaks that curse, because if all he comes with are just like a few alternate hands and a few faceplates and no separate arrow pieces, I don't know. That's not good. So I am praying that he breaks that curse. And I guess we'll see. As for his head sculpt, I like the way it came out. It is pretty much what he looks like in the comics. He got that nice looking hairstyle and the beard. Very recognizable design. And I'm very excited for this figure as well. No confirmation when he's coming. They didn't say when this figure is coming out. So I assume probably this summer as well, because usually when they do reveal the figures, you know it's probably going to be coming soon. So, yeah, be on the lookout for this guy if you are interested in adding Green Arrow's arch nemesis. And of course, I did show the back of this figure already. And yeah, same accessories like the ones that came with Arsenal, just repainted. Again, not a bad repaint. It's okay for this one. It works. Let's just hope it breaks the curse. And now, on to the third figure. We got Darkstar. I don't know who this character is. Just like when I reacted to the render of this figure when it was revealed at the WonderCon panels, I am clueless with this character. I apologize. I am not well versed in everything DC, but this figure turned out amazing. I like the fact that everything I thought he would turn out to be actually came true. Since this character is wearing armor, you know armor needs to have that nice sculpted detail. And just look at the details on this figure. A lot of it is sculpted, which is good. And for a comic book figure, that is just awesome. You know, I love when those details are sculpted. And yeah, I like the way that this one came out. They did say that he's going to have an alternate head sculpt where he has like some sort of battle damage. Like, I guess like a part of his mask will be broken or something. So maybe we'll see his face underneath or whatever's underneath that head sculpt, right? So, and they also said it'll come with a few interchangeable hands, all that stuff as usual. But nevertheless, I love the sculpt of how this figure came out. Like, it's really beautiful. As for, like, the silver parts of it, you know, if you are a customizer, you're probably going to make that look even better. Maybe go with a more faded battle damage look or whatever you want to do to the silver areas of the figure. But I think by itself, like, the way it looks right now, the silver paint does not look too bad. It looks okay. And, yeah, the overall sculpting of the figure is pretty good. And here's the backside of it as well. Pretty cool. You see all the lines and stuff all, you know, wrap around to the backside. So overall, not a bad looking figure, and another figure that I'm looking forward to and hoping to pick up in the future. So that brings us to our last item that they've revealed, and this is quite a surprise. You guys might remember this Batmobile from year one if you've been collecting this line for a long time, and this was when they did this whole, like, build a Batmobile thing that they gave up on completely because they realized that it was stupid. So, the Batmobile that we got with that first build wave where it was the Batman Who Laughs, Nightwing, and Batgirl came with these three pieces where you can assemble this tiny little Batmobile. They have finally taken that Batmobile and made it into a proper size. So, this Batmobile right here is the second comic book design Batmobile, I believe, in this line. No, I think it's the third. If you count the Batmobile, right? The freaking monster truck, this is the third one. This is cool. I am excited for this. Like, I really want this in my collection because this thing looks really cool. And for a comic book design, you can tell that it's definitely taking inspiration from a little bit of the animated series Batmobile as well with the front of it. And this is, of course, the Batmobile from DC Rebirth. This is the design of it. And yeah, this is just surprising. I did not expect to see this today. And it's good to know that we are getting another vehicle for the DC Multiverse line. And here's another photo of what it looks like on the backside. And look at the detail. I like the backside of it. It's just so, I don't know, it's just so cool. I don't know if this thing will have LED or not, because I know some of them came with the LED effects. Will this one have it? I'm not too sure, but I am excited. This is just so cool, and I want to add another Batmobile to the collection. Yes, this is on my list, and I have a feeling it probably might sell out. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens in the future, but I'm just excited. You know, whenever there's new DC Multiverse news, it's just always fun to talk about. And for today, not a whole lot of reveals here, but still very excited for all of these new things that are coming. And hopefully there's more in store for the rest of 2025. And with that said, if you found today's video informative, do give this video a like. If you want to subscribe to the channel for more action figure content and whatever else I do on here, you can. You don't have to. In the end of the day, I make these videos for fun. And with that said, take care, and I will see you in the next video.